What's going on, everybody? This is Adam. This is Open Late. Tonight, we have got the Pulse exclusive Fantastic Four retro carded Human Torch and Invisible Woman. These came out a while ago. I ordered these a while ago. I've been sitting on these for a while, not really sure what to do with them, not really sure whether I was going to open them or not. If you watched on my channel a while back, I did open the standard release Fantastic Four, Mr. Fantastic thing, the Flame On Human Torch, as well as the non-invisible Invisible Woman. But I haven't gotten around to opening the Pulse exclusives. So without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and do that because why not? These figures are really, really cool, really, really fun. What I like about the sort of flame off Human Torch is that he sort of fits the aesthetic with the other Fantastic Four members. And what I like about the Invisible Woman in her invisible form is that she's sort of powered up in the same way that sort of flame on Human Torch is. And I'm not 100% certain how I'm going to display them on the shelf. I'm having a hard time deciding. If you have any suggestions for how to display them, feel free to comment in the comments down below, and I'll definitely take any recommendations into consideration. I'm thinking that I may do sort of the same thing for both of them. I may do like a half and half. I'm thinking I may put sort of the flame on hands, on the unflamed version for the shelf, with some of the fire effects as well. So he's kind of half flamed, if that makes sense. And sort of a similar thing with Invisible Woman. So maybe one of the legs and one of the arms invisible, so that you get sort of the best of both worlds. I don't know. We'll see. Well, I will see. I don't know. We won't necessarily see. And in the case of Invisible Woman, I guess in some respects, nobody will see. Anyway, I digress. Really, really big cards. These are really big cards. These are angled to sort of fit into the shot. They come in these shipper boxes that are even bigger. That as you can see, they don't fit in the shot. I took them out of these for the sake of doing the video, because these are just massive and they take up the whole screen and more. So these are just what you sort of typically get in a ship and own container type of scenario. But this isn't a case of ship and own container. This is just sort of an outer box that these particular figures shipped in. I kind of like that they do come with the art. I actually may hold on to these and keep some of these retro cards in these. I wasn't intending to keep most of the retro cards, whether it be Fantastic Four or X-Men or otherwise. But with those boxes being sort of more than big enough to fit them, I might very well do that. So let me get these open and see what we're working with here. I'm not using my big giant knife today. I am just using my Leatherman knife, because I found that this is actually a really nice sharp blade and does the trick very, very well, without having to sort of resort to a full-on kitchen utensil. So forgive me, this is going to shake the camera and not be terribly interesting. So I'll try to do it as quickly as I can. Ironically, this knife has like a package opening blade on it, but I rarely use it because I find it's not as efficient as just using the knife. Sorry about that. About the camera. And I'm going to go ahead and cut them both out so that I can adjust the angle, because these cards are gigantic. And again, we get that sort of classic vintage card, Fantastic Four and the Fantastic Car with this sort of explosion on the back. The full standard wave represented there. You know, and the little bio for Human Torch. The same is true on the Invisible Woman. Same card, same thing. Not the same bio, obviously. She's not the same character, but similar presentation there. All right. Moving on. Get these out of the card. I'm going to adjust my angle here because now I'm working with a much smaller subject. Bear with me for a moment. Forgive the really terrible noise. That's just me adjusting the camera. All right, first of all, we'll start with Human Torch. So he gets his flame effects, and these are the same flame effects that we got with the sort of torch on version. It's effectively the exact same figure. The only difference being, of course, the deco. So he's got sort of the flame on the hand. It's a slightly different hand. I think it's a little bit bigger than this guy. Maybe not. No, maybe not. I think it's, you know what? I think it's the identical figure. I think they've used the exact same figure with the exception of the head sculpt. And I'm okay with that because this guy poses up pretty nicely. Now this guy's going to have to get a nice warm bath because he's still a little bit sticky. Some of the joints, the thigh cut is always the joint that gives me grief. These ones are okay, but yeah, that'll get a nice warm bath, which I don't think he will mind, being the Human Torch and all. And I think the sort of balance of the sort of partly flame on, partly non-flamed is going to look really good on the shelf, personally. He gets the two fists, he gets the flame effects, and he gets the sort of flame collar. So he'll get a nice. He gets sort of enough flame effect to still feel like he's, you know, the Human Torch, which he is. So maybe I won't. Maybe I won't display him with more flame than what he comes with, because as I sort of put him together here with the flame bits, I'm actually finding that it's kind of a nice amount of flame. Um, well, it looks pretty good. Um, I certainly love this head sculpt. I love this like smirking head sculpt that we get. And the sort of flame on collar, the flame on the arms and the hands works really, really well, to sort of give you the effect without, um, I always find that the translucent figure, you can't really see them as well on the shelf. This is an awesome figure, um, but this has a little bit more charisma. There's a little bit more, and I think for this character, like I like the charisma, that he sort of comes with without the flame. But we'll see. And like I said, let me know what you sort of think in the comments down there. Let's get Sue out of the package here. Again, this is an identical figure to the one that we got. Just this is the translucent version, the invisible version. My only complaint about certain translucent figures, and this is going to be one of them, is that you can kind of see the joints, so you can see the mechanisms that sort of allow this figure to move, which is kind of fun from the perspective of sort of understanding how these figures work and sort of understanding some of the internals of the figures. But at the same time, um, it doesn't look awesome on the shelf. It doesn't look terrible, don't get me wrong, but um, it could look better, I guess, is the it's not that I disliked, invisible figures, translucent figures. I really do. But I think sometimes they sort of suffer from um, feeling a little too much like a toy, a little too much like an action figure. And this is like these are especially bad. I don't know if you can even sort of make it out in the camera there, but like you can see the joint that's sort of hidden inside. Um, yeah, I don't even know I don't know how else to sort of describe it, but she's not invisible. You can actually see sort of the internal workings of how the figure works. Um, which, like I said, is fun for the sake of sort of knowing how the figure works, but it's kind of ugly. So he looks great. She doesn't look so good. Now she, of course, comes with the spare fists as well as the alternate hands, and then she comes with her sort of invisible force field effect, which is basically the same. It has a bluer tint to it than the one that came with this version. So this version came with what is effectively a really clear version. This version came with a matching one. So this matches the plastic that they used on the figure, but it's not quite clear, which makes me wonder. I wonder if they could have made this figure in this color, and they chose that to somewhat mask the joints and some of the things that I'm sort of complaining about. Hard to say. If I ever had the chance, I might ask the Legends team, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. Um, so I will never know. But anyway, this is kind of a cool effect. It doesn't fit on all that well, in my opinion. You kind of put it on her hand and then hope that it stays where you want it to and hope that you can balance her. And if I can, that'll be the end of the video. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that works pretty well. Um, all in all, decent looking figures. The fact that they're Pulse exclusives isn't that cool. It would have been nice to be able to sort of get these a little easier. And maybe they were available some places. They were not available to me in Canada. So I did have to order them through Pulse, but I did buy them on like a Black Friday sale or something like that. So I'm happy that I did. I'm happy to have sort of both versions of both of these characters. Like I said, so I can kind of part swap and get a really good shelf version of both, which I think in both cases is going to involve primarily the sort of suited versions with parts from the powered up versions, I guess is the best way to describe that. But if you enjoyed this video and others, please like and subscribe to feed my ego. And if you want to know when these videos are going to go live and when I'm going to go live, please hit that notification button. And that way you can come and chat when I am live. As you may have figured out, this is an open late, which I normally do live, not live, because I am not actually in studio at the moment. I am enjoying some vacation time, but I wanted to get a couple videos done to sort of get some of these figures opened up and out of the package. And so I've picked a couple that I was a little less enthusiastic about and or a little bit late in getting. So I hope you enjoy this, despite it not being live. I will talk to you again very, very soon. It's always more fun to open toys with friends. Unfortunately, I couldn't do that in this case, but we'll get back to that very, very soon. Have a wonderful evening, and until next time,